Are you good? Are you good, man?
No.
You just got in here like maybe 25 minutes ago and crushed a burrito and it's halfway through your conch.
Yeah. Unnamed person to my left has been very gassy.
Have we been using...
Your name's on the show, dude.
Yeah. You can just... Eliot.
Sorry. So unnamed person to my left just crunched a burrito.
So it's an audio medium. There's not... Saying to your left doesn't help anyone.
Welcome back to Lake City Variety, the #1 English-speaking podcast in the country of Paraguay. We're really glad to have you back. We're really glad to be back.
Is that true? I mean, we did get a listener in Germany, so...
The #1 English-speaking podcast in Germany.
All right,
Thank
you can back off from the mic a little bit, man.
Nope.
You're going to blow people's ears out.
That will have to get edited a little bit down, at least.
I think we should just start over. I think we cut this and we pass.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah, cheers, bro.
Well, anyways, this might be the actual start of it. Otherwise, you might hear all of that.
Anyway. So, welcome back, everyone. This is episode 2, podcast, Electric Boogaloo. We are actually pretty surprised. We honestly thought maybe 6 people would listen to the show.
That's right. And
we were right.
We're about 10 times that.
About 10 times that, which is surprising. We just recorded our first possible ad, whether or not it gets past...
it's still calculating in the background.
It's still being processed. Whatever that means. Anyway, we'll see if they accept it or reject it or whatever. But this might be a paid show soon. And it's way sooner than we expected. And since we're a paid show, Eliot's committed to the bit.
That's right. Unnamed person to my left is committed to the bit.
It's a recording of an audio...
I have quit my job. They can't bring me back. They can't make me work anymore. I am dedicating my life solely to being really bad at podcasting.
Being really good.
Really bad at being really good at podcasting.
He's done it.
That's fair enough.
He's gonna do it. He can make it.
That's right.
But he can also make it with your help. Patreon.com/Lake City Variety.
That's right. But you don't need to give. Thank you so much for listening.
That's it. That's the show, guys.
That's it.
We're done. Episode 2. It's a wrap. We're good.
If you don't support me on Patreon, I will be homeless and really sad.
Our stretch goal is $345, and that's to pay Eliot's rent.
Yep.
As you tell him what his rent is.
Yep.
I actually took a wild stab at it, but since you have an X amount of roommates, I'm going to say that's pretty close. Is it a little low?
Yeah.
Is it like 500 or 450?
Oh, not that much, no.
So it's like it's like 417 plus internet.
It's an amount. It's an amount.
An unnamed amount for an unnamed person to my left.
I think we're just
stop doing that. Just say his name. His name is say his name. Say it. I don't even think you know his name.
All right.
What is his name?
I'm gonna say his name.
My name.
His name is Inigo Montoya.
Well, you're gosh darn right.
He killed your father.
What? Whoa. That's
That's a pretty.
That's a yikes, my guy.
Pretty big allegation to throw out there.
Yeah, man. The window's open and cops drive past here sometimes.
I'm just quoting a movie right now.
That's not how it goes.
That is how it goes.
Right. Just a movie. We don't know anything about what happened June 2nd
in
2019
in Budapest.
No. Nothing about that.
It's true. Very true.
Yeah, it's so our first episode, it was roasty toasty. Definitely. The day after we recorded that, the day that that our first episode went up, was the coldest day of the summer so far. It was about 60 degrees, and it rained for a while. It was freezing.
A beautiful day.
It was a beautiful day.
In my book.
In Levi's book, a beautiful day. It is hot again. It's back up. It was low, and it was low for a long time. And then this weekend, it was maybe 85 degrees.
Oh yeah.
And it was just blasting us.
And like, I love this couch, and I remember the birth of this couch into Paul's life. But it holds heat very well.
Oh, it's rough. And Eliot is the closest to the window, and I guarantee he's the only one feeling anything from that window. He also decided to wear long sleeves and long pants to hear.
I feel nothing.
I feel like it's more of a personal issue.
Not since June 2nd of 2019.
When you quit Quick Trip?
When your father and I went for a little drive.
Dude, if we can... I'm not going to say cut out all this about you confessing to that murder.
I don't think he's confessing to a murder. Are you confessing to a murder
I'm confessing to a murder right now.
Well,
okay. Well, we're going to have to just...
So, everybody, welcome to
back.
the Lake City Variety Podcast.
The official start of the show.
That's right.
This is...
My name, I almost thought about saying
Michael Jenkins.
No, stop. We can't keep going.
June 2nd, 2019. Roughly about 7:35 p.m.
Cut. All right, everyone. Welcome back to episode 2 of Lake City Variety.
That's
It's
right.
hot on the couch again. It is a toasty day. This is definitely not our 5th time restarting this podcast in 10 minutes.
That is correct. That is very correct.
It's hot. Elliot's, I think, got heat stroke or something.
I think so.
He's got heat syncope.
He's had a few outbursts that we've had to Well, we've done about 7 minutes of recording so far, and we've scrapped all 7 minutes before this point.
Yeah. I don't know who got scrapped.
Oh, don't say it.
Don't do it. No.
Don't do it.
We're going to throw away this entire episode.
You can't keep confessing to
doing
murder.
this. Don't say what it is. Shoot. All right, everyone. Welcome back to episode 2 of the podcast, Lake City Variety. It's the uncultured architect. No, you're not an architect.
He's not an architect.
He's
an archaeologist.
He's an archaeologist. That's right.
He's just like Indiana Jones.
The non-engineering engineer and the not-so-professional photographer. Oh, fun story about being the not-so-professional photographer. I got to call my wonderful unnamed insurance company today because my wife is working on getting her her ID, her driver's license for the state we're in. We're not saying what that is.
That's right. Unnamed state.
Unnamed state next to unnamed. Oh, I think I threw up in that one. Anyway,
That's gross.
it is gross. So she's trying to go through all that, and I just wanted to make sure that her new name was on our renter's insurance. And so I tried to do it online, and there's just no way for apparently a purchaser of anything to edit anything, so you have to call them. So I called, really nice lady. She called, she changed everything. She's, changed marital status and like all that sort of stuff. Changed her name a little bit, so it's on the thing, and it's all covered. And then she was like, "Well, what about your car insurance? I know she's on your car insurance and things like that. But what if we check your occupation here? It says you're in marketing or whatever." And I was like, "Yeah, well, technically I'm a professional photographer, but I don't know if that would do anything." Well, if I put in professional photographer, I can save you $28 a month on insurance. And I was like, all right, I guess I'm a professional photographer in the eyes of everything now. So that's
$28.
So not just a not so professional photographer.
I tell insurance companies that I'm a professional photographer, and they believe me.
It's not lying.
It's not lying anymore. So I'm changing the episode descriptions and everything.
That's right. Actually, just the other day, I got an email from Unnamed University where they had a letter for me. And in that letter was...
Which letter?
What do you mean, which letter? I'm getting
Have
to
you been
what
going through
letter
his
it
mail
was.
again?
Like A or B?
It's an envelope with stuff in it.
Maybe
No, but like
C?
this envelope had like my Order of Engineer ring. So I'm actually...
D.
What do you
I now
mean?
have-
What is an order of engineering?
So the Order of Engineer is like you're an engineer and you like swear to like, be a really good engineer.
Oh, you have to take like
and
the Hippocratic oath for engineers?
Yeah, it's like a Hippocratic oath of sorts, and then you wear a ring on your like dominant hand pinky finger. My ring is actually too small, which is why I'm not wearing it right
Oh wait,
now.
you actually get like a whole like Freemason ring?
Yeah, it's just a plain
It's kinda
steel
creepy.
band.
That's the coolest thing ever, and I
really wanna
now
get
I'm
it
going back to
resized.
school. I'm doing it. I'm going back to school for a single ring.
That's right. To unnamed
to go
university.
around my broken pinky. That's
Oh,
definitely
God, don't
not
do that,
going
please.
around.
That's gross.
For since this is not a visual thing, my pinky is just straight
It's
side.
90
It's
degrees.
perpendicular to my hand
It's
right now.
actually 90
sideways.
degrees.
And yeah,
That's gross.
so that's definitely not going around that pinky, but it's worth going back. It's something worth paying another $30,000 to
It
state
is,
school
actually.
for.
It is. Unnamed state
For a
school.
single steel ring.
You could just buy the steel ring
I
for
could just buy-
$12 online. I looked it up. I might actually do that instead of getting it resized because it would probably cost more to do that.
Yeah, it definitely. Actually, well, it depends where you go. There's some nice places downtown when I was looking for engagement rings, but I did not go with any of those places.
I would assume a jeweler probably charges like $50
no,
an hour.
an hour? Yeah,
For
but-
like 10 minutes of work, $50 an hour? Probably evens out to like that, right?
I want to see your math.
Are you kidding me? Well, they're not doing an hour of work, you know?
And, well, I know, but we're not doing an hour of work for this. We've already had to restart too many times, and don't you dare bring it up again.
That's right. Unnamed person to my left. Have you had any changes in your archaeological standing? Just like us two have.
We've had changes in our
Have had-
careers.
That's right, because a ring changes your whole career.
A ring does change your whole career.
Oh gosh. Checks out.
I was gesturing to my wedding band, folks.
That's right.
Checks out. Still no advancement in archaeology.
Well, you're committing full time to the podcast. Now
That's
that
right,
we're
of
sponsored.
course. And murdering. And
Don't confess. Don't do it
Don't
again.
do it. Don't do it again. Elliot, I swear, if you do it again.
Unnamed person
you
to
know
my
what
left.
happened to the last person that swore at me?
It was me. I swore at you last
Did it
week.
happen June 2nd?
Stop. It's not a good bit.
Do you know the sound someone makes when they get stabbed?
That's a terrible sound.
Really goes on like that for some time. Yeah, that's the sound I made, actually. That's good. That's pretty good. I am not an archaeologist yet, or
We are.
probably ever.
We're something else this
Ever?
episode right now.
Well, if the world doesn't open back up, and, really don't mind putting a career to the side so I could pursue just other things.
Like this podcast.
Like this podcast.
Full
That's
time.
right.
Like
And
relationships.
unnamed significant relationship.
Are we gonna drop that today? Are we
Oh,
still? Have you
jeez.
talked with person about it?
Yeah, we've talked about it a little bit.
Would
I don't think I'd-
person ever come on the show? Because my wife,
There's a good
if
chance.
she ever's
yeah.
on the show, it's because
Yeah, I don't
she's
know.
gonna head through our studio, our very professional studio, to go to the kitchen to get us an applesauce.
Which is quite the cameo.
Which that is quite
at
the
this
cameo.
point, anyways.
At this point, anyway, she's been mentioned enough where if she ever walked through, it would be quite the cameo.
I've also been thinking
That would
about
be
getting
pretty cool.
Orlando Bloom on the show.
Orlando Bloom on the show would be pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to handle that.
We'll also settle for that's
Get some
a
bad
joke.
blood.
That's a joke from something very not anyway.
I do have something to say though. Are you guys familiar with Canada? Like the country of Canada?
Yeah, the one that's like really far north of us.
The one
That's right.
The one that's Canadian.
Unnamed distance from unnamed Lake City.
Okay, that's a little bit.
Yeah. Canada, could you just not right now?
What do they do?
Could you just stop? All right, Canada.
What do they do now?
They're on fire. Haven't you seen the
No.
smog?
Is that why?
Is that why
my
we
allergies
can't
suck
see
right
all
now?
the lake?
That's
right
why
now?
you can't see the lake of Lake City. That's why my nose has been just completely
kidding me.
destroyed.
Are you really?
Okay.
Canada's on fire
Allergies
right
have
now?
actually been...
Canada's burning down. So could we do something about that, Canada? Could you really try better next time?
Just not burned down. I do have I have a cousin that lives out in Colorado, and every once in a while he'll just send me a picture of him giving a thumbs up with his back to just the biggest wildfire I've ever seen. And where I grew up, they did there was a really cool nature preserve there where they did controlled burnings, and so I've been around where once a year they just light 80 acres on fire, and that's cool to see. But it's, you know, like 8 guys with like torches and stuff like that, and then doing a controlled burn and things like that. And it's, you know, it's there for a reason because it keeps the prairies going and then the jack pines flowing. But just he's out on a mountain with his friends and he's just like, just fire.
If you didn't see, Paul was giving a thumbs up and smiling.
If you didn't see, Eliot's still giving a thumbs up, and I think that's a grimace.
Unnamed person to my left is grimacing.
Stop! It's his. We've said his name. He said his social security number last episode.
Did he actually?
He did.
Eliot, you're so screwed. I'm really sorry.
Well, I had to set up the LLC for our business, and now I know his social security number.
I still need to get you that, don't I? You
Yeah.
want me to say it right now?
Yeah, you can just say it right now.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. We're waiting.
Oh, frick.
We're not.
Oh, no. We're committing to the bit.
We're committing to the bit. I need it.
1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
You know the numbers, like the first 5 correlate to
1.
where you're born, and then what city.
420.
You know, like that's not.
Are you actually?
I'm being
It
serious.
is a very flawed system. If you look at the social
Because
security
if you
number,
just know when, of like the year someone was born, and then what hospital they were born in, you can get a pretty good guess at what theirs is. Other times, you have no idea. I have. There's one guy I used to work with, actually at that camp that I talked about last episode. And he and his brother, his parents were missionaries to Japan, and so he was born on a U.S. military base in Japan, which means he was born on U.S. soil, so he's a U.S. citizen, naturalized U.S. citizen. But I mean, his parents were U.S. citizens anyway.
It's true.
So, like there was a whole thing. They had to get on the military base in order to do it, or to have the kids. But he didn't get his Social Security card until he was 5. It wasn't issued to him until he was 5, because that's when he moved back from Japan with his family.
Okay. That makes sense.
And that means, and his older brother had that same issue. So their Social Security numbers are sequential, even though they're a year and a half apart.
That's pretty cool.
Dude, if you learn one, you learn
You
the
have a
other.
50-50 shot of getting the other one.
So you're telling me that we can commit some pretty serious identity
We can
theft
commit a
right
2-for-1
now.
fraud. 2 frauds for the price of 1.
2 frogs for the price of
2
one?
frogs. 2 frogs. There's a lot of frogs out, actually.
I haven't heard of them, but I will say, spicier episodes so far. I
Yeah.
think it's the conchs that we've had.
It's the spicy brown water we've had.
The spicy brown water.
Um,
Not yet sponsored by Coca-Cola.
Although we would
but
love
someday.
to have that opportunity. We'd love to open up a discussion with Coca-Cola company. Maybe I might be able to swing it. No, I'm not kidding.
We shouldn't talk this good about them if they're not sponsoring us.
That's true.
But we're also
We
not
need
going
to say
talk.
something
We're
to
not going to
balance it
talk
out.
bad about them until
We
they
need to
just.
say something to balance it out.
But we're not going to talk bad about them, like just trash them. We're not going to trash them until they directly say no.
Suck it, Coke.
Okay, no, you're ruining our
Excuse me?
shot.
Suck it.
Suck
No.
it. You suck it.
You can't pull like a Sean, like an
Like an SH apostrophe to the top dynasty.
Exactly. Can't pull that right now.
I can.
You suck it.
I can, and I will. Coca-Cola, easily probably only the second best Coke beverage that I've enjoyed in my entire lifetime.
What's the first?
What's the first best Coke? You can't
Like,
know.
Whoever's gonna sponsor us first.
No,
Like Sierra Mist? Is that what you're getting at right now?
Oh,
that's not a Coke.
Tell
That's
me,
a Coke
Levi.
product, isn't it?
Tell me, Levi. Do
Everything
you
is owned by
enjoy
Coke.
Sierra Mist Cola?
No, but like it's owned by the Coke company, isn't it?
That's not his point. Like RC Cola or Pepsi Cola or cocaine.
Pepsi
Or-
Cola literally, like, I'm sorry, you would never get
Pepsi
me to
Cola
agree
makes
to a
my
Pepsi
teeth-
sponsor.
Makes my teeth feel fuzzy after every sip. And
Pepsi
it's
makes
the worst
me
feeling.
really sad, and it's probably the only pop that I really, really hate.
It's up there. I hate it. I do not enjoy Pepsi at all.
And I don't hate
So Pepsi, if you're listening, and we know you are because people are listening to the show for some reason, you can suck it.
for some reason. There's a good reason.
There's a good reason. We're funny. We have good bits. We have great
All right.
thoughts on things. And let's get into current politics.
What other
Or not.
businesses can we alienate?
Fanny packs? Can we alienate
Yeah, but fanny packs, they're not a business. They're a product.
Fanny packs are already pretty alienated. Let's be honest.
On their own, they don't need any of our
right.
help.
They don't need our help.
Other
to
than the
be
fact that
alienated.
Elliot wears one anyway.
Wait, you
Because
wear a fanny
they're-
pack?
No, he wears one. Not that he can't.
Wait!
He wears one without just like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this for the bit today. I'm wearing a fanny pack. He's like, nah, I keep my keys in there.
It's so useful. You don't have to keep anything in your pockets. You worry about things falling out of your pockets.
The worst
don't know.
part is,
Leaving
Do you wear it
evidence
when you
behind or something.
oh, no.
You just put it all in the one big pouch, zip it closed, and you don't have to worry about anything.
The worst part is that Elliot
Easy
and
to
I,
dispose of. Throw it right off a bridge to the bottom of a river. Easy peasy.
Easy
No
peasy.
DNA left
Definitely
behind.
not talking from experience at all.
Oh my goodness, guys.
We can
No,
neither
I
confirm
can't.
nor deny any allegations.
You're gonna kill me with this one, guys. You're killing me with this one.
Done it before.
All right, welcome back to episode 2 of the
Welcome
show.
back. Pretty sure this is the first time we started.
This is definitely this is the first time we've started this episode, and definitely we haven't spent 25 minutes doing this.
Well, anyways,
What's our first discussion topic?
well, Oh, I understand. I understand most things.
Yeah.
Actually, the one thing that I don't understand is, like, I don't even know where I'm going right
Magnets?
now.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
How do they work?
Oh, God.
You know, they're just rocks that are attracted
Can you
to
just
other
read
rocks.
the book in front of you? This one. Just read this one.
Biology, how
No,
life
the
works.
chemistry one.
There's a...
Are magnets alive?
No, they're not. No, they're not.
They're made out of stuff. They can move on their own.
Do they respirate?
I don't know. I don't know anything about magnets. You tell me.
No, they don't. They're rocks.
Yeah,
They're alive?
They're not alive. They don't respirate.
but you don't need to respirate to be alive.
Yes, you do.
What about fish?
They
have gills
do
for a
respirate.
reason.
They're underwater. They can't breathe. You can't breathe water,
No.
guys.
No, but
You're with
they,
me on this, right?
They suck the
Oh.
water in and pull the oxygen out of the
Pull
water.
that oxygen out with their gills.
There's not oxygen in water. There's not.
I'm just going to take a big sip of this not sponsored Coke, and we'll...
There's not oxygen in
Hashtag
water,
not
is there?
sponsored. There's no oxygen in water.
That's why
You're
they
the
call
dumbest
it.
human being I've ever met.
That's why they call it water.
I've met some dumb people,
Yeah.
and you're approaching the dumbest right now.
I'm
Are
not-
we entering
one really
into
dumb
the
guy,
roast
too.
session of our show?
It's
right
not the
now?
roast session. We have to wait until we, wait.
Like, have someone we can actually roast?
Yeah, someone we can actually roast.
Okay.
We were thinking about maybe a guest at some point. I mean, well, we're going to discuss this now. We'll probably at some point have a guest, and that guest will definitely be no one with a social media following, and definitely just one of our friends.
Yep.
Or Orlando Blue.
Or Orlando. We'll reach out to him this evening, and see. If you could get Legolas on this show, that'd be great.
Dude, that'd be sick. Oh
Oh.
gosh.
I really hope that he would come in costume. I know that this is only an audio recording, but just for my personal self.
We tell him it's like a visual thing,
right?
And then that he has to.
We need you to come dressed in the blonde wig and the
ears and the green
fanciful clothing.
Yeah, the boots and everything. We need you to come like that.
Definitely bring the boots.
Bring the boots.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Eliot.
I'm just agreeing with you.
I don't know how to feel right now.
What's your favorite part of Orlando Bloom's boots?
Boots?
Or just his outfit in general?
I like the bow. I have a very large childhood fantasy.
Oh, that's right. He has a bow and arrow. I was like,
running around.
Bow?
A bow?
Bloom's just got like a...
No, not in his hair.
Bow
Oh
in
my
his hair.
god. I'm like bearing my soul right now, and you're like,
I'll rip it
Where's a
apart.
freaking bow in his hair?
Oh, speaking of bow, one time, so Eliot and I don't live very far away from each other.
Nope.
Not at all. And one time he walked over and he's like, yeah, there's like a free bow outside.
Just right outside.
It's just
in some dude's driveway.
in some dude's driveway, and it just was on a table that said free.
Yep.
Dude,
So
that's
it's-
sick.
Yeah, why not? Let's just go grab a bow and...
We went over. We grabbed it. We were looking at it. We're like, wow, this really is a bow.
Well, and
Just like the one
I
that
wonder why
Orlando
it's
Bloom
free.
wears in his hair.
No, are you...
Yeah.
And
I'm so disappointed.
so we were like, just looking at it, and the guy that lived in the house came out. It was like, oh, that thing is cracked, by the way. I wouldn't recommend shooting anything with it. And I go, dang. Got away this time, Michael.
Stop it.
let me do it this time. No, we're not going to restart?
Okay.
It's been it's been so long that we have to keep
Yep.
Don't.
So we got the bow. We were like, yeah, it's fine. I was just going to do like goon stuff with it anyways. I didn't
just
want to do anything.
Shoot neighborhood cats with it.
So I walked back.
Well, that's animal abuse.
No, it's not. Not if they're dead.
I walked to Paul's house and
That's just messed
like
up.
showed it around, showed it around to the rest of the friends there, the friend group, and then I walked back to my house and I was going to put it up above the fireplace on the mantle just to mess with my roommate because he's very particular about the way that he likes things. And while I was doing this, so I got the bow, I walked back, and I walked back again to my house. And all this time, there was this guy sitting out on his porch, and he saw me walk by like 3 times, carrying this bow. And on the 3rd time I walked past,
Oh,
he's
is this
like,
an actual real guy
Yeah.
that was sitting by the trash cans?
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He-
I thought you were making a bit again.
No,
Okay.
this is real. And he was like, walking around a lot with that bow and arrow. And I go, excuse me, sir. It is actually just a bow. And this is America, so I can do whatever I want. And then I shot him.
So he's Michael.
No.
Okay.
Oh, no.
No.
Second one.
Frick, I'm sorry. It's just. I'm really sorry.
Oh, my goodness. Anyway,
Right.
Black Widow came out last week.
Yeah.
It's true.
Let's
Spoiler,
talk about
true.
that instead of the double homicide that Eliot
Spoiler
did
alerts.
in June 2nd. Anyway,
I don't know if it was a double homicide.
No witnesses.
you just confessed. Listen, we have a listenership of 85,000 people.
My word against all of their words.
Well,
It's a recording of yourself saying that you did the crimes.
My word against my word.
it's artistic license. Am I right?
It's not artistic. For legal reasons, all of this has been a joke.
Yeah. Of course, the judges know that. They're really smart.
The judges, who definitely, that you can. Oh, I confess. Just in case there's a recording around here, none of this is true.
Okay.
So
in
all-
the event that this gets used in future court proceedings, I have a question specifically for the judge presiding over my case.
You know they don't have to listen to the whole audio clip. They can just use
So
the
how
part.
the frick do magnets work?
All right.
they-
So
Are they like alive? Do they move because they like each other, and sometimes they don't like each other?
is it like a high school?
Just explain that to me, please. Back to the whatever we.
Yeah,
whatever
Paul,
else we
I'll
were
buy
talking
it.
about.
Black
Widow
came out.
Yeah, you guys went without me. Not together, I don't think, though.
It went together.
no,
you guys
we
went
didn't.
together without
Yeah,
me?
there's a big group of us
That's a
that
big
went.
group that went. Yeah. That's a big yikes.
I bought someone else's ticket. I wasn't originally invited to this party.
Oh my goodness. I feel so... I was just like, oh man, they both, it's like coming out... Didn't it come out on Thursday too? Or something like that?
It, technically came out on Friday.
Oh, so
but I
midnight
mean, it
release.
premiered, we watched the 4 o'clock showing of it on Thursday.
Okay.
Because that's how movies work.
Anyway, so they did that, and I was just like, oh, they must just be going opening day. And so I was like, that's cool. But now that I feel betrayed that you guys went together and without me, that I didn't even get an invite, I just feel...
Yeah. I just got invited by my roommate, midday. So I don't really know. I thought it was out like a post on Facebook chat. So I would like to formally apologize.
No, it's okay. If it was at 4 a.m, I would not have.
It was Levi's fault.
No,
He
it wasn't
did.
4 a.m. It was like 4 p.m.
What?
Yeah, like 4 or 5 p.m.
What?
in the afternoon. Yeah. Like this is actually
we could go see
horrible.
it tonight.
I don't have any interest in seeing that movie. But if
Okay.
it was with a big group, then I would have loved to go.
I mean,
But, I like being involved in the group.
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes says it's an 81%.
That's... Rotten Tomatoes, the guy who made that, I forget his name right now. He actually eats that many tomatoes out of 100 tomatoes, depending on how much he likes the movie personally. So if he really likes your movie, he'll eat all 100 tomatoes.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't,
real
and if he
size
doesn't eat them,
tomatoes?
he just lets them sit and rot. And that's why it's
That
called
makes
Rotten
sense.
Tomato.
Oh.
Right.
And definitely not
So, like,
because of the historical thing of people throwing tomatoes at
when he's
performers
watching
when they're bad.
the movie,
That's-
he's
I almost
eating tomatoes.
Was fooled. Should I be fooled?
A fool by what?
Exactly what you just said.
I don't know what I just said.
Magnets.
Oh my gosh.
Definitely didn't spice up that conch at all.
Well, we're already forgetting our short-term memory doodads.
Well, I don't know which part of that you should believe. Well, which part of that do you believe, or what part did you almost believe? Because I said two different things.
It's true. The eating tomatoes part.
Yeah, no, that's true.
He eats the tomatoes.
He eats the tomatoes.
Stop pulling
Right.
my leg. The rotting tomatoes part is also historically true.
No, it's just from when he doesn't eat the tomatoes. He leaves them.
he leaves them out
and they
to
get
rot.
really stinky. And then
No, but
people are like, "Ooh, that's a stinky
That's a stank movie.
But like
That's a
people would
stinky
take
movie.
rotting vegetables and throw them at people
Why would
Because they
anyone
were
ever do
upset
that?
with
That's
them.
so mean.
because they're in the stocks because they did something bad, and it's like the
Dude, the
1700s,
stocks are on your computer.
and it's
you
the
trade them for money?
1700s, and the only
Yeah,
entertainment
stocks,
you have
like-
is executions and
Game-
throwing tomatoes
Like
at people.
GameStonk.
like GameStop.
Yeah,
Oh my
stocks.
gosh. Well,
Like AMC movie theater.
and
Amp.
Is AMC even a good movie theater? I don't think there's any around here. I think the closest one is
I think they have
like
one.
4 hours away.
I think they have one in.
It's
in
4
that,
hours.
In that
It's like
town.
4 hours away.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
And
can
I
you-
went there.
can you mouth that
I went
again?
there once.
It's okay. Dumb French name,
I went there
oh, I think I know
once,
what you're
and I
talking
remember
about.
it
but
was
not
just.
but not where I was living.
It was just
other dumb French name.
stupidly expensive.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's
why
only
I paid
2 hours
for
away. Never
AMC.
What? Yeah, it's like $20
It
or
was,
something
it
like
was
that.
really expensive.
What?
And you know what's like really
And I
nice
was just
is
a
that
boy.
we have a Marcus theater,
Ooh, baby.
which has got those dream loungers on
Which
it.
has got Greg
Which I
Marcus.
looked- Greg Marcus. Dude,
Oh,
pandemic hit.
my heart.
No one. I missed no one more than Marcus.
Then Greg Marcus.
than seeing
Markey.
that nose on my screen.
Oh,
He's literally so. If you don't know, Greg Marcus is the CEO of
Marcus.
He's like the
Marcus
son of the guy
Theaters.
who started the first Marcus Theater.
Yeah, and before every movie,
But he's just
there's
this
a
very
pre-roll,
wholesome old man.
like a video of him thanking you, watching the movie. He's like says some things that are like kind of funny, a little corny.
Sometimes a little
Like, you
corny,
know it's
sometimes a little
rehearsed,
cheesy. Sometimes
but
he does it with his
it's
brother.
also from
Sometimes
his
his
heart.
kids are in there.
It's like
It's good, and he'll
It's
do it
really
a
good.
different thing like per movie. So it's like
Yeah.
you're not just seeing the same one every time.
exactly.
They reuse them sometimes, but not a whole lot. And when the pandemic, like when it loosened up where I was living when the pandemic was happening, he was just like, it was like they finally opened it. And he's like, "Welcome back, everyone. It's great to see you all here." And it was like, you can't see us, but that's really nice. That's like we miss no one else more
Thanks, Greg.
than Greg Marcus
Than
of
Greg
Marcus
Marcus.
Theaters, and also that your movie costs $5 on Tuesdays
Yes.
and Thursdays if you're a student, which all of us are going to hold on to our student IDs until we're 30.
And honestly, I would pay the 12 to 15 for a regular day.
It's
too,
really not even that.
because
It's not even that bad. You
It's
know what?
Mr. Marcus, you know?
I enjoy those theaters a lot. Those Dream Loungers, though, I didn't look them up. I'll say that I watch a lot of YouTube, but Linus Tech Tips, they did like their channel or whatever. One of their channels did a thing on like not the Dream Lounger itself, but like a cousin of them, and you can buy them for your home.
Oh.
They're like $3,000.
Well,
That's a little pricey.
That's a little much. You know, we should get. Although when this podcast is making, that nice ad money.
you think like you
And
rent
that's
an
sponsored by-
office space and set up some
We're not
Dream
renting.
Loungers?
We're not renting an office space. We're ditching the couch with the hole in it. That also stole another thing today when I sat down on it.
It's true.
And we're putting in some Dream Loungers.
I'm ready.
I mean, first up is
Take me away.
is individual mics for each of us with
Well,
XLR.
I would just like to preface by saying, first up is paying my rent this month.
Oh yeah, that's
That's
right. Because
right.
you fully committed.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
But-
once we get that cleared out, then we can work on getting other stuff. But
Yeah. Oh, we have a YouTube channel because we like to post this. We're actually available on 7 major sites for our podcast. I'll just pull it up on my phone here.
You're thinking about something?
No, I'm just. So we're available all over the place. Whether you like to listen on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, I like to flip between those two.
Yep.
But we're hosted by Anchor. But anyway, I like to take this feed and I put it up to YouTube. We don't have our own URL yet, so please just search Lake City Variety and give us a sub if you can. It's actually super helpful for that. But we got a couple comments. Some of them were nice. Some of them were really helpful.
That's true.
And
And
one of them.
You can take it away. It's really profound, actually.
it's really eye-opening.
It's just one word.
If you can imagine, all right. So, like, if you can imagine, so this is like 13 to 17-year-old Levi,
Yeah.
and hanging out with the high school buds, and like. You gotta describe something that you like don't really like, but you're like
It's gay. It just said
yeah,
gay.
Yeah, it just said
It
gay.
just said gay.
It's literally what I would
It's
say
like-
in high school.
It's I laughed when I saw that. But we're not allowed to like that comment with our official YouTube channel.
It's
So
very true.
I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
But it's,
If you were that guy that left that
That
comment, you know who you are. First off, I would love to challenge you to a boxing match. We can get it televised or whatever, just, whatever. But then also we would like to invite you to the podcast for an upcoming week. We'd love
That's
to
right.
have you.
we'd love to have you.
And I would actually like to
we'll-
thank you because interacting with our content is actually really helpful for the algorithm. So
Yeah,
just
exactly.
keep doing it.
So thanks anyway, even though you left the best comment. Oh man. Well, it's time for our halfway through the show break. I'm kidding. We don't do breaks to this. We
That's
we
right.
sit and sweat through the whole thing.
Actually, I'm
16
feeling that
minutes.
breeze kind of right now. It's pretty
We
nice.
actually have to do more than that today for some reason because of you.
Oh,
That's
what do you
right.
mean?
Well,
It's not my fault.
It's what do you mean? It's not your fault.
Are you victim blaming?
If
Are
Michael
you victim
Jenkins
shaming?
wouldn't have been
Oh
running
my-
his mouth, nothing would have happened to him.
Oh.
Are you just taking Michael and then adding it to Leroy Jenkins? Is that your bit?
Nope. Had to come up with a random name. Don't know why I chose those ones. Don't know why Michael chose to die that night.
Neither do I.
The rest of us, we don't know why. Elliot makes the decisions he does. Like going, oh wow, we got. Well, we did hit top 25 on comedy in Apple Podcasts overnight. Overnight. Let me tell you, and with 85,000 followers immediately, which is just unprecedented.
That's right. I
I
don't believe it.
Yeah, in fact, I saw it. I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't. It was just, it was too good to be true.
It's almost like someone else who was really famous started a podcast named The Exact Same, and it did really well overnight.
And, here's another fun bit. So, when you Google Lake City, or Lake City Variety, we pop up, there's like, we're the top, couple, because no one else has a name. However, there are several towns named Lake City.
Ooh.
And
well, we're not from there.
We're not from any of those.
I would like to confirm,
we're not from any of the towns named Lake City. But when you Google Lake City, a lot of funny stuff comes up. It's honestly great.
I haven't seen this.
You've never Googled it. You've never listened to the podcast.
Nope.
Ever.
I hate recordings of my own voice.
I thought I did, and then I had to edit the last one and balance the audio and everything, which works really well when we have a single mic, and I'm the farthest away from it right now, and I'm still probably the loudest person on this mic.
Which is okay.
Is fine.
Except for
Eliot, I'm really good at projecting.
In the first few...
Like, we have a window open right now, and if someone was outside on the sidewalk, they could hear me rambling about whatever. Hey, we pop up. There we are, Lake City on YouTube.
I know, I see it. Not first.
We're not number one.
Great Lakes Gear Exchange.
Don't read that. We can't know.
Are we...
Okay, I'll make a note.
All right. That might be the first censored thing on this podcast,
That might be.
Welcome to...
Now we have to start over again. Come on. Alright, everyone. Welcome to episode 2.
It's great to be here. We want to thank you guys so much for just being a part of this.
For just being a
really special experience.
It's actually, we honestly, I don't know if we talked about it last time, but from the idea of this podcast to its first episode being released was less than 48 hours.
It's true. Very true.
From this thing...
You could tell. You could really
You could smell it.
I think you can still smell it.
I think I'm sweating so much more than last time.
We've farmed starting a podcast for probably about 10 to 20 minutes of content so far. Yeah. Which is a decent amount of content.
It is a decent amount of content, which we got to start to come up with some bits. And we do have things written down. We did actually listen to Eliot from last week.
Oh, yeah.
And have ideas.
I was tired boy. Real grumpy boy last week.
Yeah, you were not doing so hot. But now that you quit your job.
Woo! Let's go podcasting.
Just fully here. And now we have another...
He's really committed to working that 1 hour a week.
Right. Really hope that's going to be enough.
Remember, if you go to patreon.com/Lake City Variety, I'll put up one for
pay my rent.
Eliot's rent.
There we go. That's our first channel.
That's not our first one. Actually, I did put up on the Patreon. I put up, because I mentioned last week when we're making $2-3 a month, I'll get that foot long. That's our first stretch goal. Is if we get $5 a month, we'll get that foot long to split between the crew.
$5 foot long. Not a thing anymore.
Not a thing anymore.
It's true.
And everyone, they ingrained that so much into everyone's mind.
Yep.
That they're just like, oh yeah, it's a $5 foot long. I went to Subway last week.
Yep.
$8. $8.50.
What an outrage.
No, but actually though, like the individual little stores, like, so they're all, it's a franchise, right? And so someone decides to partner with Subway and be called Subway and have, sandwiches. But then corporate says, you gotta sell a sandwich for $5 and you gotta lose money making it. And so really it was just corporate kind of ganking the little guy who's trying to make it in the world, trying to live, like their dream of owning a Subway.
Yeah, but the thing is they weren't exactly losing money because, their whole thing, the Subway footlong, like the $5 footlong at least, was volume. Because not every sub cost $5 right off the bat. If you got like the steak one with provolone, it cost like, maybe $6.50. Sure. And that was okay. Sure. But if we went there, we're like, okay, I know that today I'm going to get an Italian footlong, what they call Italian, even though it's ain't got no gabagoo on it.
I have no idea what a gabagoo is.
Oh, you just haven't watched any of The Sopranos? Nope. At all? Ever?
No, I don't. necessarily
just
watch a lot
watch-
of TV shows.
It's just a good show.
We could also watch, say, 15 seasons of Supernatural while we're at it.
Or we could just watch every episode of Gilmore Girls.
Also true. I watched some of it today.
Yeah, it's my wife is really taking a liking to that show. Anyway, so
Betty White. She's in Gilmore Girls.
for like a second.
Are you kidding me? I don't know anything about the Gilmore Girls. I think I'm thinking of a different show.
Yeah, you're thinking of a completely different show.
Golden Girls.
I don't think
Is
she's in
that
that
a
either.
show?
Golden Girls is a show, yes,
Okay.
and it's about
Showgirls.
Showgirls.
Starring Betty White.
Betty White moves to New York to become. She's the best stripper.
Are you kidding me?
She moves to New York to become a beautiful actress.
Yep.
She's the star of Showgirls.
We should remake Showgirls
with Betty White,
starring Betty White. Yeah.
the woman who's older than sliced bread.
Is she actually older?
Well, I mean, sliced bread's been a thing forever, but like sold sliced bread, like pre-sliced bread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like
She
the
is-
40s, right?
Yeah, she's older than sliced bread.
Nice.
I mean,
That's my
so
dream
is
one
like
day.
if you have a great grandpa, so is your great grandpa.
I'm older than the cell phone.
Are you really?
Well,
Well, the
it's
cell
a-
phone came out like not. Like,
It's like definitely. When did the cell phone come out? I don't know if I can say that.
I don't think you can say that. I don't think you can say that at all.
When did this,
I'm older than magnets.
when was? Are you still? Tell me
The
something about
first
magnets.
cell phone was in 1973, and you liar.
How old are you, Levi?
I can neither confirm nor deny any allegations. A lot of people, though, tell me I look like a dad.
It's the
And
go-to.
so-
It's the go-to.
That
It's a
places
goatee.
me at exactly older than a cell phone if I'm actually a dad.
You know what? The only thing
Just
you're
saying.
missing from your normal everyday dad look,
Yeah.
is you need one of those hip cell phone case holders.
I don't know. I can't really condone that.
I think you have to
I
commit.
can't condone
I
that at
think
all.
you have to commit. To
I'd
that.
rather hold any bottle shaped
listen. You pulled you.
drink. I'd rather push a stroller. I'd rather actually have kids. I'm not gonna
Maybe have a
wear
girlfriend
the...
first.
No, see, that's how much I don't want to have a hip phone case doodad, whatever that
Is that you'd have kids before a girlfriend
I'd
to
ra-
avoid?
I'd avoid it. That's how I do it.
Nice.
Wow. That's wow. Things I didn't know about you.
That's right.
It's really. I have a hip phone thing. I never wear it because it's dumb, but I do
See?
have one. Well, because
I have
I'm also not a
integrity.
dad,
I have
and
some
I don't
integrity.
look like a dad.
Apparently, I look like a dad.
I feel like I'd wear it.
Yeah, but you also wear a fanny pack.
Why not both?
It's just too much going on.
That's
That's
easy
a lot of
access
hip
to
access.
anything
That's-
you need.
I'm gonna agree with Levi. That's a lot. That's a lot happening all at once.
I think y'all are just scared of the future.
Unless, what if you steered into it? So you had 6 or 7 things going on down there.
Just a
a rock.
Batman utility belt.
Exactly.
This is where I keep my phone. This is where I keep my wallet and my keys. This is where I keep my knife for stabbing things. And
I'm gonna have to put him down. I'm gonna put him down after this one. We're gonna. If anyone would like to audition to be Eliot's replacement in the next, well, not the next episode, but all future episodes, please send your tapes to P.O. Box. I could actually give it a P.O. Box, but I'm not going to do that.
Do you actually have a PO?
I do actually have a
Box.
Nice. Very
one.
P.O.
PO
Box.
box. I really wish
first
I
post
remembered the
office.
Adventures in Odyssey PO box because that would
Oh,
actually
that
be kind
was
of fun.
Colorado Springs, Colorado.
8
80988.
995.
Yeah, something like that.
Or
I've
if you're
been.
in
I've
Canada,
actually been
right,
to. I went to Wits End in Denver, not Denver, in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
That's pretty
No
cool.
idea what that means.
You've never listened to Adventures in Odyssey?
Nope.
Honestly,
I heard it once when I was 16 and it was on the radio. I'm like, what is this garbage? Why is this old man talking to me?
it's.
I need to listen to my Justin Biebers and my Ed Sheeran.
I'm gonna kill you. It's like so. It's radio drama. It's every audiobooks and stuff like that when they actually you remember when when like not BBC, but like they did the Chronicles of Narnia, but they did audiobooks where they have the actual swords clanking and the footsteps, and I think what is that board? What is that soundboard called? Shoot, what is that called? They use
I don't know.
Like
they use a soundboard, or do they make it sounds?
They make the sounds themselves, and then they put it on a soundboard.
Okay.
It's like the soundboard for audio dramas or whatever.
Yeah. Dude, what if we got one of those? We make our own sounds, like the conch crush sound. We make I don't know what other sounds we have. Like
what is that?
Like the Eliot doing his murder bit sound. We have the
Why don't you just make sound effects for us?
Okay.
You could just do.
You could be our Foley guy.
What the heck is a
Foley
guy?
guy? Our Foley. It's a
Foley
Foley board.
Foley.
Yeah.
So Foley or Foley.
You're gonna
I've
call
heard
me
it both
a
ways.
Foley board?
Is in when you're making a film, your mics only pick up like the voice of the actors.
Yeah.
So you've got to add in like footsteps, and you've got to add in like
that's what it is. It's called the Foley board, and so it's just like that kind of stuff.
right.
Where it's like door opening and stuff like that. So it's like, one of the first pre-thought out bits that I actually had for this was maybe at some point, because we do like going to movies as a group. Apparently not. They don't like going to the movies with me. I don't know what's the deal with that. Is
most deep apologies.
It's whatever.
From the deep of my spirit.
It's totally fine. I'm not gonna make a stink. I'm not gonna make a stink out of it.
There are no parts of my spirit that don't wish you were there right now.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. I really didn't want to see that movie. But we saw Tenet together when it came out, and we have not seen it since. We're just going to do one episode where we recreate the entire movie. One of the most confusing movies I've seen, which we've all only seen once from memory.
And we'll have a Foley board.
And Eliot and Levi is
Elliot.
I'm sorry. I used the wrong person.
It does happen, actually.
They have the same letters in their names. But Levi is going to be our Foley man.
That's right.
What's your bullet in reverse sound effect?
If regular bullets like, so it'd be like.
One more time.
That works pretty good.
That works pretty good. I think you're gonna punch it at the end of that. No, no, it's reverse. We gotta reverse that. There you go. Oh, that's pretty good.
Oh man. Did you do the sound effects for the movie?
Did you do the sound effects for the movie?
That's exactly what the movie
exactly what it sounded like, yeah.
So
that Terminator man running through the airport, that's exactly what he sounded like. The Terminator man running backwards to the airport.
Well,
which is that I don't know if what we're gonna say, but like the scene where he's fighting the man in reverse in the airport is one of the cooler scenes I've ever seen in a movie.
And I really wish I remembered that scene.
I have like 2 seconds of that scene in my mind, and that's it.
It's can remember cool. Not a lot of that movie.
Yeah. Well, also you had no idea what was going on for the first 2 hours.
That's also true.
You couldn't comprehend it for a little bit.
It's
wild. It's a nuts movie.
Very good movie.
It was good. It was really good. It was a good getting back to the theater movie.
Yeah, that's actually true. I would say so.
Yeah.
I think if I would have seen, well, it really depends on like the style of movie. But if I would have probably seen any other movie, I might have been like movie disappointed. You know?
Yeah. Like I went back to the movie theater for this.
Yeah, it's like they drew me in with the like weirdest complexity you could ever imagine, and then they just hit you, and they just keep hitting.
And they keep hitting, and it's hit after hit after hit. Because once I'm back into the rhythm of going to a movie theater, because we used to go to movies maybe together once a month. When we were in college, something like that, like pretty close to that, and then individually we'd go pretty often because we like movies. We like watching and enjoying that kind of stuff, but. It's like if I, being out of movie theaters for a year and then like we're watching some Pixar movie, like that would have been fine depending on the group.
It's true.
But that I would have been like, why did we pay for the theater experience for this when we can just rent it for $5? Because everybody was starting to rent things, and it's like, well, I have a 4K TV like everyone else in the world. not everyone else, because you guys don't have real
I
jobs.
definitely don't have a 4K.
You guys don't have real jobs yet.
Don't even have a TV.
You just say I don't have a real job?
That's right. You're
Don't even have a job.
You can say whatever you work for if you want to throw that.
I'm currently debating, so we'll have to see at some point.
Did you tell your employers about this?
About this? No.
Okay.
This is my 3. Well, I mean, I've told a significant amount of my coworkers.
So all of them know.
They definitely know.
Have any of them listened to it? Do you know?
I actually don't know if any of them have.
Huh.
We'll have to see.
Yeah.
We will have to see.
If any of you are listening to this and you know who you are, text Eliot the best emoji you've got. That's a dumb thing. I'm cutting that.
No, are you kidding me?
emoji.
Don't cut that. The cowboy
cowboy
emoji
emoji.
is objectively the best emoji.
Cowboy emoji.
Like if
Cowboy?
you sit down and you look at all of the emojis, there's like significant amount of bottom tier emojis, and then there's like some like mid tier emojis, and then there's like some really good emojis, and we'll have to do an emoji tier rating at some point.
That's
And
so
then
many. That's
just to
all,
sell the
all
bit.
of them?
Yeah.
That's going to be a 4-hour show.
Are you kidding me? That's YouTube gold right there. Like you sit down.
This is not just for YouTube. This is
Well,
like...
I know, but like, you know, once we get going, you know, then you can like you can do the
branch out.
YouTube video where it's us, you know, like doing the emoji thing. But it's cowboy emoji top.
I mean, before we get a camera, and I'm not stealing one from work because I'm not using what we use there. It's embarrassing.
That's right.
But honestly, the first thing we're doing, Eliot can be homeless for a bit, or he can live in my basement. I do have a Harry Potter room you can live in, and they come out under the stairs. And then you don't have any excuse for being late to the show.
So
But like the honestly, the first thing we do, like the sponsor thing is nice. Where hopefully it will upload. It's nice to at least see some growth from this, and it's really cool because we honestly thought nothing would ever happen, and nothing really has happened. But we want to take the things we gain from this and to make the show better, because sometimes we suck, sometimes we're funny. We hope to give you all the times we're funny,
and also the times we suck.
and also the times we suck because we're people, we're real people.
That's right.
But we also want to sound good and you know, balance things out and have good recordings too. So that's our big thing. If we also do, we play games and stuff together too. We haven't played in a long time, but we played Dungeons and Dragons together because we're nerds.
Mm-hmm.
Very good game.
Like we should just record one of those one time.
That's true.
That'd
Unnamed
It'd be really fun.
role playing game.
Honestly, the first guest we might have might be from our game night. Unless you guys think of anyone else that would come on.
Oh,
He's the only person I think that would come on.
That's probably true.
Did you tell him we're doing this?
Should I say his name?
You can say
So we can think about Bruno?
Bruno. We're thinking about Bruno.
Okay, we're thinking about Bruno.
We're thinking about Bruno.
There you go. I'm smiling right now.
Yeah,
For all of you who can't see,
Yeah,
the thought makes me happy.
dude, are you on your phone right now?
Yeah.
Dude,
my
what is
manager-
You're not
It's
focused
texting
on
me.
our. It's your one job. You quit your job. This is your job. Stay focused, dude. You work 1 hour a week.
All right, it's time. Let's grind. Just
Anyway.
40 more minutes since we restarted 20 minutes ago. All right.
Yeah, 40 more minutes. Honestly, we have to do 40 more minutes. We owe it to our listeners to do 40 more minutes.
That's right. No short 20
We
minute
are.
episode.
We do actually have a ways to go, Elliot. We're not stopping yet.
That's right.
Then let's go. Okay. Change discussion topic. What is rice?
A grain. Next.
Yep.
Are you-
What
You
is
just said so fast.
what is bice?
Is that like a bicycle mixed with rice? Is it like?
It's a bicycle mixed with rice. Next.
Okay.
Is it a grain shaped?
What
is
is
it a rice shaped like a bicycle?
What is ice?
Oh my! It's all right. New.
Not hot water. For all you chemists out there, it's just not hot water because cold doesn't exist.
That's
Do
right.
you wanna know what
not
got
hot
iced?
water.
Is it your wrist because you got 15 cents?
Don't say it.
Does anyone want to know who got iced?
Don't say it.
Don't say it. No, we're not.
Would anyone care to hear who has been put on ice?
All right, Levi. Anyway, back to having Bruno possibly on here.
It's true.
Did you tell him that we're doing this?
I don't know if we told him.
I didn't tell him. And I don't know if it was because...
Oh, yeah, he definitely knows.
He definitely knows?
Yep, he was in the room when I said.
Is he hurt?
I don't know. Wait, hurt what?
Is he hurt in the way that he's not on it?
I don't know if he's hurt. Everybody literally seemed excited.
Okay. That's actually cool. My coworkers, I didn't mention to my boss because that'd be weird.
That's true.
But I did talk to, like moving laterally. Yeah. I told one of my fellow coworkers.
It's true.
And he thought it was yeah, man, go for it. And it turns out I'm not the only person where I work that has a podcast.
Nice, dude. They're kind of in.
They're kind of in. It's really fun, actually. It's unfortunately we've traded our game time for this time, but
at the moment, yeah.
At the moment, just because summer is a thing. But
summer grind.
It's fun. This is actually the most fun I've been able to have with you guys in a long time.
And you know what else is fun? Helping Eliot. July 2nd.
It was June 2nd.
June 2nd. Well,
what year?
What did we say?
2019.
Yeah, there it is.
There we go. Not to mention July 2nd, 2018.
It's actually impossible for me to have an alibi at that night, I'm pretty sure.
It really is.
Something does come out of this. I am mega screwed.
Dude, you're done.
Yeah.
We'll record through the prison phone. We'll put a mic up to one of those.
Yeah, cool.
It's true. The sound quality would probably be pretty good.
It'll be pretty close to this anyway.
I'll be able to get a lot of really cool
new
guests.
bits.
Bits. I'll get a lot of cool guests. I don't know, probably some of the Mansons. Maybe one of the...
I don't think you're going to get into that prison. You'll probably just go to a prison around here, maybe the one that's in this city.
I'm a big guy.
That's right.
Have you ever seen the state prison that's in do you know where it is?
It's
It's surprisingly in the middle of the city.
Really?
It's not
Oh, there's the
it's right next to the airport.
Yeah, okay, I have seen it.
It's right there. And
that's good.
It's good that
that way we'll know that if anyone escapes,
where they're going,
they won't be running around the city. They're just going to go straight to the airport,
which is also an air base, like a military base.
Well, we're narrowing down their
You're really
very much.
That's true,
right especially with that slip up earlier. That's getting bleeped out.
That's definitely. I don't know. I know what marker it's at. I do because I've memorized it, but.
Good job, buddy.
I got this. I'm a professional. Honestly, I deserve more than 40% based on all the work I've been doing.
Well, vote on it.
It's a good thing It's a good thing I shook for 30. So
yeah.
We'll vote on it.
Oh my goodness. That's honestly one of the better bits. That was accidental, but it was funny. That's not even for like anything. That's because we'll do what we do with anything, but it's like if I'm going to do all the work, I want majority ownership compared to individuals, and I don't care if I can get outvoted. It's just that because my this fell through really quick because sometimes people are flaky, but I had a friend that was like, yeah, I want to start like a outdoor supply co. I was like, okay,
oh cool, and
I was like, yeah, like I get that. I'll help you. Like, look for products and stuff like that. And so I did a lot of work. I was at work, so I wasn't really doing anything. But so I sent him a lot of stuff. I even made him an Instagram and like that kind of stuff. Like claimed everything. Like got like a lot of things done. Like ready for that. And I was like, I did a lot of work, but this is your idea. And I'm willing to be a partner with you in this, but I'm not splitting it 50-50 because I want you to be my boss, so I'm the most I'm going to take is 49% because I don't care. I don't want to have that be an issue. Mm-hmm. It's like the same thing. It's like, like when brothers start a restaurant and they just disagree on what they should do with the restaurant. Like sometimes they'll start a restaurant like there's like always like a piece of place that like someone's dad owned, and then they're just like there's like two or three brothers, and they're just like, And one of them's like, let's just keep the one store that Dad always had. And then one of them's just like, but what if we open 16 locations in 3 cities? And it's like, and then all of a sudden the one that wanted the single store dies mysteriously, and then there's a bunch of these pizza places that show up all over the place.
Kind of reminds me of Michael, honestly.
Kind of reminds me of Michael.
I'm sorry, Paul.
We have to throw away 65 minutes of this audio.
Goodbye.
when you're 65 minutes in. Oh gosh.
I have to cut this down so much. We had that nice little tirade about, especially with Spectrum being the one option here, they were going to narrow this down pretty quick. And especially that we said Canada has smog rolling in.
Yep.
They already know where we are. They figured it out. It was 3 guesses.
It's okay.
Well,
anyway,
time to
so that whole rant I had about Spectrum, where they're garbage and they're poop, and it's like, this is going to take forever to upload. Guess how long this took to put on YouTube? Take a wild stab at how long it took for me to upload this.
17 hours.
Roughly.
And it's not that bad.
Okay.
23 to 72 years.
Is that what you are going to go to prison for?
Within that time range.
Is that how long you're going to prison?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Is that why you had to quit your job?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're currently a felon?
Well, no, because if he has a job, it means he has income and he can afford a lawyer. So he wants that state given one because he doesn't have any funds.
I need that big lawyer money.
They have to give you a lawyer
if you can't afford it.
No,
but
even
the
if
state
you could, you will. No,
it depends on what state you're in, but it's like,
sure.
I don't know what it is for this state, but I know in a different state, it's that the state determines whether or not you can afford it. Because if you can't afford one will be appointed to you.
Okay,
is how it reads. And so, like, there was a kid that got arrested, and his mom died, and stuff like that. And so, but he had a brother, but he's like 16 or whatever. And so they're like trying, and they have like a pre-trial that's like, well, does he get a state lawyer, or does he have to pay for his own because he has all this money from his mom dying? Which is like just give him a state lawyer. Yeah, right? The government's awful. But it's like, well, he's got $100,000 from his mother's life insurance that he splits with his brother, and then his grandma gave him some stock options worth, like, he's got like 17 shares of Microsoft stock.
That's not bad.
It's not a lot of money, but it's some money. And it's like, well, I guess he can afford a lawyer, and he has to spend all that money from his mom dying last year.
That really sucks.
Yeah, the state's garbage.
That sucks a lot.
All right, you guys have to come up with topics now because I have to cut out 65 minutes of this show.
Let's talk about the difference.
No.
So anyways, in unnamed Lake City, I went in to get a haircut today. And,
That's what I was going to talk about.
You were going to talk about getting a haircut today?
No, I was going to talk about murder.
I know.
Oh my gosh. Which is like kind of the ultimate haircut. But anyways, so I'm like, I do what I normally do, which is
What do you mean that's kind of like the ultimate haircut?
Well, if you're, like, you take a bit off the top, and by a bit off the top, it's like their whole head.
Checks out.
Okay.
Go ahead, haircut boy.
Yeah, so anyways.
Big haircut boy.
I don't plan my life very well occasionally. And so I was impromptu going to go get a haircut. And the fun part about the place I was going, I don't know if I should call it what it is, because it exists everywhere. Still really ambiguous about what I can call things or not. But anyway.
At this point.
So anyways, I was going to unnamed haircutting place to get my haircut. And I walk in, just as like a walk-in person. And there's like 3 people sitting down. And I get the lady to walk over from doing her haircut, and she starts talking to me, and she's like, yeah, it's going to be like a 2-hour wait. And there's like this list of 20 some names And I'm like, and she's like sitting there trying to talk to me, and I'm kind of like, I don't want to sit here for 2 hours or go do some chore and then have to come back 2 hours later. So I'm like trying to get out of this conversation. So I'm like saying as little as I possibly can, and she's still talking because she wants my business and she doesn't know I'm going to use a $10 coupon.
And then give her no tip.
I was going to tip her. Okay. Like that's...
What's the biggest tip you've ever given for a haircut, though?
Probably like $5.
No.
I don't know if I've given much more than
It depends on the people, but the most I've ever tipped a hairstylist was $100.
Well, like
Nice.
a normal haircut.
I had a lifestyle when I could do that when I started being a not so professional photographer. Not anymore. I can't do that anymore because I don't get paid nearly as much as I used to. I also don't live alone anymore, so
That's also fair enough.
yeah.
And so where was I at? So I'm trying to awkwardly dodge out of this conversation, and like some of the people who are like sitting down waiting for their haircut, I think they're like kind of chuckling, like they see my discomfort and me trying to leave.
And it's not
and
like you're
they're,
an
like,
antisocial person. You just want to leave when you want to leave.
Yeah, I want to leave because I have no buy-in because I'm not getting a haircut here, and everyone else like knows that, and they're like laughing because I'm a fool who walked in to a 2-hour wait for a haircut. And so I end up leaving.
Yeah.
And then discovered this beautiful little strip mall, which is, if you could even call it a strip mall.
And it's funny, too, because it's not like it's just one little strip. It's like a strip on one side, and then on the other side, it's like up a story, and it's just stacked on top of itself.
Yep.
In a weird way.
It's like...
And there's a library right next to a pizza place.
The smallest 2-story mall I've ever been in. And if you go down
there's no
stairs,
indoor trail at all. It's just all outside strip mall.
No, you can actually...
Is there really?
Yeah, there's a sketchy, underground-ish looking, like, concrete wall, like, paints, like, old...
Like old almost, pool paint?
Yeah.
Oh, like where you can see like the blue peeling from underneath.
Yeah,
like a different
so
color.
It's almost like we're actually gonna get murdered, like walking to.
It's not like it's in a sketchy part of town. It's
but
it's next to the nicest grocery store in town.
Yeah. So
I do like
and it's a really nice library, and I think the pizza place is good. I've never been to it though, and the Great Clips is fine.
It's named after the university.
I call it Great Clips. So
you call it Great Clips.
There's the
way
name.
to go.
There's. Oh my god.
Levi, right. You've given away everything.
This episode is brought to you by Great Clips.
We want it to be brought to us by Great Clips.
We love getting haircuts.
Get some great clips at Great Clips.
For a great price. If you like quality customer service with a great looking hairstyle, then you need to go to Great Clips.
If you like
Gray Clips?
Waiting for an appointment
like
for 2
50
hours.
Shades of Gray Clips?
No. You were the guys that made the ground rules for this.
That is true. That was only a verbal joke, though.
That's all of this show is verbal joke.
Can we blurb that out?
No.
Frick.
I don't have a beep.
Oh, no.
I need to get we should get a soundboard. But I mean, first up is like soundboard with adjustable XLR inputs.
I think first up is
so we
mics.
What?
I think first up is mics, right?
That's what I just said.
We need to get some mics up in here.
I got...
just to get us all loosened up a little bit.
Well, also so we can divide onto the 3 different couches in here instead of...
Then we can all have our own mics.
Yeah, instead of sharing the... Which, honestly, I mean, other than...
Because right now, we're just sharing one bottle of mics, and...
I knew you were doing that. I knew you were doing that. Do you want a mic so you can get your own from the fridge?
No, I would not like a mic. Thank you very much.
Do you want a Four Loko? Do you want to have just a completely different evening?
Woo! Oh, God. I do not know if I could do...
I got some in the fridge.
I don't know if
it's the small cans. Don't worry. You'll live.
You'll
live.
Podcast.
Listen, I could have like 3 small cans and drive a school bus. So
that's fair enough.
Which I don't know how to drive a school bus regularly, so I have to be inebriated to attempt to drive one of those.
I feel like being
actually I do know how to drive. I've driven a bus before.
And driving a school bus are 2 things that shouldn't ever go together. And if they do, it's both a small town scandal news like heading and a tragedy at the same time.
I don't know. My bus driver when I grew up in a very small town. My bus ride I was not the first person on, but I was absolutely the last person off. Living in, the district line for the next school district for the next small town was half a mile down the road from where I lived.
Yeah,
so I was on the edge, and it's not like, oh, we're in this city right now and there's 3 high schools, and it's not a huge area. Like the school district was bigger than this city, and bigger than some of the surrounding area, and I lived at the edge of that.
That's pretty rough.
It was pretty rough. So I'd get on the bus at 3:40 is when the school got out, because we started at 8:30 or something like that, which was nice because we got to sleep in a little bit. But I'd get off the bus at 4:50.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah,
that's not good.
My bus driver, he wasn't he never drank, and most people in my small town drank. But I've been in his bus 3 times when it went in the ditch. 3 separate times.
Winters?
Yeah, winters.
Yep.
Just gone in the ditch.
Yeah.
Waiting for the next school bus to get there so we can all pile on that one. And then 30 minutes later, that one going in a different ditch. That happened. I was 2.5 hours late for school because of that. And the dude were just like, we get it. It happened. Here's a good one. I was driving when I got my license, and all my friends were, senior year. It's like we all have our own vehicles anyway. So it's like we're all driving because we don't want to ride the bus for an hour and a half every day.
Amen, brother. One
way. And so we're driving to school, and it's pretty snowy, and it's English project presentation day. It's like we have to do a 6-minute presentation for our project. So with that as a group, and I drive past this bridge, and one of my group members is just in the ditch. And it's not like a little ditch. This thing goes down a hill, probably 25 feet down a slope. And at the bottom of this ditch is a river. And he is about a tire length away from going in the river in his truck. And you can just see the skid from where he slid and lost control and then just went straight into the river. And I'm in a crappy Mazda minivan, which is what I decided to spend my money on for a first car, which was it was fine, I guess, but it was I would rather have spent that on something else. I don't know why I let my mom convince me to do that. But so I get to school. English is the first period of my day, and teacher comes around and she's like, "All right, Paul, you and Nick ready to present your project?" Like, "No, Nick's not here right now. I don't know when he's gonna get here." She's like, "Did you text him?" Like, "No. I waved to him, though." She's like, "What do you mean?" It's like, "Oh, he's in the ditch next to the river."
Sounds pretty ominous. We're sure I'm the one that's murdered someone here.
I don't know if I have or not. Anyway,
I don't know if I've murdered someone.
I touched hands for a little bit there. That was really cute.
Maybe that's why they commented that.
Well, if you couldn't see, Eliot and Paul just touched hands.
We just held hands for a second.
It was really cute.
It was really cute. You should have been there.
Sitting
jealous
between them.
He's jealous.
I'm jealous. I'm just...
Honestly, my wife is probably jealous too.
She honestly should be.
Yeah, she really should be.
If you can hear that, he said that's a lot of hand to hold. Because Paul has big hands.
That's not that big.
Well,
I mean, you have bigger hands than me. I have dainty hands.
Anyway. Oh, that was something. I'm getting to the age, and all of us are getting to the age now, or at the age, when some of our friends are just getting married.
Oh,
because it's like everyone finished college in our age group.
Who do you?
You're
one of those.
I know I'm one of those. And I was at my friend's wedding a couple weeks ago, and I sat down at a table. Was at end of the party. It's like we're 30 minutes away from doing the send off. I just want to hang out with some friends and not have to yell anymore. Sitting outside, one of my friends sits down, another one sits down, another one sits down. We're all just hanging out, and there's five of us at this table.
Yeah.
And 4 out of the 5 of us are married, and one of us has 2 kids.
Nice.
The oldest guy there is 23.
Nice.
That's life in small town Wisconsin.
That's life in small towns Wisconsin.
Is the oldest guy married?
Those guys married and has 2 kids.
Nice. If I was
he just had
anyone-
a second a month ago. No, not a month ago.
A month? Wow.
Yeah.
That's a new baby.
Mhm.
It's
a new baby. But I think we filled our contractually obligated time here on this episode of
What
Lake
a
City
gracious
Variety.
way.
This has been a journey, guys, but I think it's time for it. No, I'm kidding. We're not doing that. This is such a good time for us. But thanks for listening. If you feel like you ever want to give us money, which we appreciate any amount of, head on over to patreon.com/Lake City Variety. First goal is we will get that Subway sandwich that no longer $5 footlong, but we'll split it amongst the 3 of us here.
It's true.
Continue the bit, and
we'll
we really, we talk about our jobs and stuff like that. But I mean, Eliot he is committing to the bit, and he's podcasting full time.
That's right.
And so, to make this our way of life, we really do want to invest in some better equipment, but we do need help from you guys for that. If you want to head over to our YouTube channel, you can just YouTube, and we don't have our own URL yet. Otherwise, I'd plug that. But the link is on our anchor.fm / Lake City Variety. If you go there, there's a couple links. If it's your preferred listening website or app or anything like that, we're on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor. You can listen right in the website. We're on Google Podcasts, although that one's getting really weird to find us, but we'll show up if you just Google us. We're right at the top there. But there's also a link for our Instagram, which we have an Instagram page, boys.
Yeah,
I do have an Instagram for us.
Very nice.
That my wife said she might run for us.
Very, very nice.
Yeah. And that's episode 2, Electric Boogaloo, boys.
That's right. Thanks for the listen.
Thanks for tuning in with us. We really appreciate it. Stay safe. Don't let Eliot find you in an alley.
Bye-bye.